and hit the server is called latency. So lower the latency, better is the performance. You heard Suresh talking about videos with a buffering all the time. The reason was that the latency, the time it took for the packet to go there and come back again was very high. Now, if I'm standing here and I throw this to you, this is the time that it takes from my hand to reach you is the latency. So latency used to be fundamentally very high as all the core nodes were based in Singapore. Slowly the world has started shrinking and moving towards Asia. Now with the subsea part being built in Kolkata, the connectivity to Singapore becomes much more lower, much more faster. So we'll see more gaming and more such applications coming into Kolkata specifically for the subsea part. Again, it's an emerging IT hub. We have a lot of government push coming in, and in fact, last time I got an honor to meet Mr. Babul Supriyo also and hear his feedback on how the landscape is changing and how the government is willing to support and help. These are some of the exemptions that the government is doing. Specific focus would be on the 100% exemption of electric duty for 5 years. I mean, that's a big plus for someone like us, where power is a raw material for our industry. Grid initiatives we spoke about, we are building a solar plant. This is what our investment is. Again, it's around 2,000 plus crore investment that we are doing in Kolkata. The whole facility would be built in different phases. Our first phase should be out in another month or 2 months time. And the entire load is 60 megawatt, 60 to 80 megawatt IT load is what we are talking about. Again, this is going to be a carrier neutral facility. The intent is to provide a platform where content and eyeball networks can meet. Content could be in the form of banking applications, content could be in the form of video applications, content could be in the form of digital landscape, it could be about education, anything that helps, and we want to provide that platform for Eastern India to exchange their traffic at Kolkata. So this would be a carrier neutral facility having all the telcos present and ISPs present in that data center. The launch we spoke about. So the current phase is 16 megawatt of IT load. It's 90,000 square feet. Again, it's AI and cloud ready. I mean, AI is a big talking point. We all are talking about AI and how it's going to change our landscape, change our usage, change our patterns. So our data centers are AI and cloud ready. So any hyperscaler or any AI driven company, they are around 4% of global AI companies are based in India. We have some 1290 odd AI companies currently in India who are working on AI projects. So our data centers are AI ready. Again, high density racks, Suresh spoke about how we are going to 20 megawatt, 40 kilowatt per rack, starting from 3 kVA that we started a few years back. Security, these are basics that we provide. This is a standard practice that Control S does. We have a 9-zone security in any of our data centers. Again, access to multiple ISPs, cloud service providers, natural disaster proof. So one point that we wanted to highlight, that we have a company called Snabble, which is a design company. So we have our own partner who designed, our own company who designs the data centers. So in terms of designing and execution, we are much ahead in the competition, and we designed this as a natural disaster proof, and we have LEED Platinum certification. That's a standard practice that we follow across. Again, I mean, this is just going more into details on what a military grade security is. Basically 9 zones that you have to go through to enter into the data center. UPS backup, we have a complete UPS backup for 10 minutes with 100% of IT load. Let me give a perspective on IT load. I mean, IT load is the power that is required to support all your switches, routers, storage, that is all IT equipments basically. This does not include your AC, your lightning and all that. So we have a full capacity where we can support on UPS for 10 minutes for the entire IT load of our customers. Then back this up with a fuel backup for 2 days. So we can run the entire setup for 2 days without any interruption. And that's been our history. We've been 100% up for the last so many years that we started, 2008 since now. Again, AI-ready solutions, immersion cooling. I don't want to go too much into technical part because it becomes a little deep diving session. Maybe we can take it offline if you have some questions around it. But these are basically new technologies that are coming up to ensure that the heating or the heat emitted by the equipment is controlled. So this in way affects your cooling. It saves you on deploying the AC ducts, the routes, the fans, the cooling fan, the noise is much less. So all these factors help. So these are basic different technologies that are coming up to support the cooling. This is the segment that we feel is going to pick up. Hyperscale cloud, your Googles, your Microsoft, your Metas of the world, your AWSs of the world, your Oracles of the world. Government initiatives, lot of government initiatives like smart city, smart metering are all coming up. So we foresee a lot of business coming from the government initiatives also. AI, ML, we spoke about large enterprise organizations, be it the manufacturing hubs based in the eastern part of India. Startups, very common these days, local IT partners in the region. That's it. Any
data center policy. Similarly, Kolkata also had lots of incentives through their IT policy, and they are doing their part. But again, with data center being a capital intensive industry, you know, probably if at all you're talking about 1 lakh square feet of a commercial building, you know, it would probably cost somewhere around 30 crores to build a 1 lakh square feet building. Similarly, if at all you have to build a 1 lakh square feet of data center, you probably would be investing close to 350 odd crore, right? So there is a huge amount of capex that's coming in, but still, in the recent about a year and a half ago, the central government has announced or given the data center industry an infrastructure status where we would be able to get better priced loans, but that hasn't happened, hasn't been implemented yet. There are lots of other fiscal and non-fiscal incentives that the industry still requires. Like if at all you're talking about the National Building Code. So usually the National Building Code says that you need to have at least for every 100 square meters you need 10 car parks. That's a regular building. Now in a data center building, you would be having 95% filled with equipment, only 5% is office space. So that way, if at all you ask me to leave all that space for car parking, do all the similar kind of design here, you would lose lots of money. So there are lots of industry bodies like CII, ASSOCHAM, everybody are trying to lobby this, give the educational journey that the state government bodies would require, and that's in the process. But yes, to straight answer your question, no, we are not satisfied yet. We are working with the government to get all those requisite fiscal and non-fiscal benefits still. And coming to the employment, data center as such will not create huge job opportunities. It's not an employment intensive industry, but it is an ecosystem. It's a very important or a pivotal point in the entire ecosystem, which generates jobs around it. So that way, directly, indirectly, this project would be bringing in about 1,200 odd jobs, both. So once we create the data center, we would be having direct employees who would be operating, managing, the equipment. And along with that, our customers who are going to host their servers in our data center would further add jobs. You would be needing network guys, highly skilled tech guys who would be coming up with different technologies like cloud, AI, everything. That would be everything put together. About 1,200 odd jobs is what we are expecting.
Where you are the controllers, is the only Indian company, Indian control company, purely operating in India. So, is there any extra layer of that national security with you?
Question: being an Indian promoter-run company, Do we have an additional layer of security? Yes. We do have fiscal responsibility to investors. Whichever company operates, they have their respective fiscal responsibility, and they are headquartered in different countries. We are headquartered in India, Indian-run company, within the legality of the Indian constitution. So yes, I think there would be a little better sentiment added to it where we feel protective about what we are doing. But by and large, if at all you come to a tech space, I think there are data residency laws which are applicable to all the companies which are operating within the Indian geography. So we have better security with respect to Security Operations Center 27 tools, in-house team which are 24/7 monitoring with NOC and SOC. Indian, yes, we are contributing to the Make in India initiative. All the profits which are being taken are being repatriated to India. That way, yes, we are an Indian company working, contributing, striving for Indian economic growth.
See, one more important thing, security